Well, hey friends, and welcome back. Today, I want to bring you along as I pack for a 1-week trip and share with you how I pack light for travel. And for me, packing always starts with the clothing. I'll consider my clothing needs for the trip, what events or activities I'll be doing. Then I'll also check the weather to make sure that what I pack will be seasonally appropriate. On this trip, I was packing for a week-long stay in Tennessee, where I'd be attending a conference, touring the city, and spending a few days visiting family. So I spent some time picking out a combination of comfy and some more dressy casual clothing to create a sort of mini travel capsule. My general strategy is to use a simple color palette, consisting mostly of neutrals and a few earthy colors to create a versatile set of items that I can mix and match with each other seamlessly without feeling like I'm repeating outfits. So for the 8 days that I'd be gone, I packed 5 short sleeve shirts, 2 sweaters, 1 dress for a party I'd be attending, 2 pairs of jeans, a pair of leggings, a set of pajamas, and a jacket. And what's cool about this clothing capsule is so long as I have access to a washer, I could go for anywhere from a week to a month or more just pairing different pieces with each other. But then once I have all of my clothing laid out, I like to fold everything in a way that keeps things organized and accessible in my suitcase and reduces wrinkles. And the method that I use is something of a hybrid I've developed between rolling my clothes and the KonMari method of folding. I like to call it the brick method because that's essentially the shape that you want to create with each item. So how you do it with tops is you just take a shirt, flip it upside down, then fold each of the arms in and down if necessary. Then from bottom to top, fold the shirt 3 to 5 times to create a brick shape that will fit well into your suitcase. And a quick pro tip, if you want to try this for yourself, always make sure you flip the shirt upside down first. While this method minimizes wrinkles, depending on the material and how tightly packed your clothes are, wrinkles can still occur. But by flipping the top upside down, you can ensure that any wrinkles that occur happen on the back of the shirt rather than the front. But then with pants, the method is pretty straightforward too. I'll just fold the pants in half horizontally and vertically with the button and fly facing out. Then again, I'll flip them upside down, folding them 2 to 3 times to create a similar sized brick, although they do tend to be a bit chunkier than the shirts. And what's really cool about this method is that it makes it so that you can, at a glance, see all of the clothing that you packed, and when you remove an item, it doesn't send your whole suitcase into chaos, because the clothing stands out by itself. And with folding, I like to work from easiest to hardest. So I'll start with my shirts and pants before moving on to any sweaters, dresses, jackets, or more challenging clothing pieces. With these, there isn't really a set method since each piece is so unique, but I'll just use those same general principles to create that basic brick shape. Then once everything is folded, I'll start packing it into the suitcase, putting everything except my more bulky jacket, which I'll save for later, on the zippered left side. And to me, this is one of the biggest benefits of traveling with a hard side suitcase. It creates some natural separation between your clothing and everything else, which makes it easier to keep things organized. But with my clothing packed, I began focusing on everything else that I need for the trip, starting with shoes. Apart from my cream high tops, which I planned to wear on the plane, I also wanted to pack a pair of sandals since it was supposed to get up to 80 degrees a few days, and a pair of mules so I'd have a smarter shoe option for the conference. And I just packed both of those into these cotton produce bags I have. They're perfect because they protect my shoes and help make sure nothing else in my suitcase gets dirty. Then I set those aside and packed my undergarments next, setting out all of the underwear, socks, and bras that I need for the trip, and adding a bandana so I could put my hair up. And I just stuffed everything into yet another cloth bag. But I find that this is something that really works for me. Keeping all of my undergarments together in one place just helps keep things simple when traveling. And once I put everything in, I still had some leftover space in the bag, so I also put my reusable makeup wipes in there as well. I did put them in a separate bag within that larger bag though, just to make sure that none of my makeup would get on any of the clothes I was planning to wear. Next, I packed my jewelry, and I love using jewelry to make my outfits a bit more fun and interesting, especially when they tend to be more on the neutral side. So I packed 2 necklaces, 3 pairs of earrings, and a handful of rings. And for maximum versatility, I picked all gold pieces so I could wear them together in different combinations. Then my makeup bag is easy. I keep my entire makeup collection in this bag permanently so that when I need to travel, all I need to do is grab it and go. But it does have quite a bit of extra room in it, so to the bag, I added some nail clippers, a pair of tweezers, my jewelry pouch, and deodorant. All of those fit in nicely, and again, this just helps me to make sure that I don't have any loose items scattered throughout my suitcase. But then for liquids, because I was flying, I needed to have everything in a clear Ziploc bag. And I found this one on Amazon last year that I'm obsessed with. It's the first one I've found that actually feels like good quality. So I just laid out my shampoo, conditioner, heat protectant spray, curling cream, perfume, toothpaste, moisturizer, and a travel size razor. And then I put all of those into the bag. And then again, I put that to the side. I like to get all of the individual items that I need together separately first before packing them up so that I can easily see everything that I'm packing and can just quickly look over it all to make sure that I'm not forgetting anything. And those are all of the bigger elements that I typically travel with. But then before packing everything up, there were just a few extra things that I needed. The first was my toothbrush, which I just put in this little travel container. And then second was my curling iron. But then once everything was laid out and I knew I wasn't missing anything, it was time to transfer it all to the suitcase. And so I started with just wedging the curling iron into the side of the suitcase before focusing on placing some of the larger items. And it can always be a bit of a puzzle to figure out what fits best where, but generally I like to start by figuring out where the bigger pieces are going to fit best first, and then sort of filling in all of the cracks with some of the smaller items. Then typically, if I'm bringing any type of chunky coat or cardigan, I'll lay that flat on top just to provide some additional padding and to keep everything in place. With that though, my carry-on suitcase is packed and ready to go, so I'll zip that up before moving on to packing my personal item. And I've been using this backpack when traveling for years now. Let me show you what I put in it. So the first thing that goes in my backpack is my purse, which contains my field notes notebook, a pen, my wallet, some medicine, a hand cream, hand sanitizer, lip balm, a nail file, and my Tide to Go pen. And these are all essentials that I like to keep in my purse whether I'm traveling or not, but they definitely come in handy when I'm away from home. And I'll just zip that up to make sure nothing comes loose in the backpack and then move on to packing my electronics. I love photography and filming, so packing a camera is pretty much a must for me. So I just put my camera and a backup battery in a cloth bag. And since this was a work trip, there were a few work-related essentials that I needed to bring with me. So in this little hard shell case, I packed my hard drive, the cord to it, my adapter, and a couple of backup SD cards. Then in this fun pineapple bag, I packed all of my cords. My laptop cord, my phone cord, and then also my AirPods. And on travel days, this is probably one of the bags that I tend to reach for more frequently, so I love that it's in this fun little pineapple bag so that I know immediately, just at a glance, exactly where it is in my backpack. But then with my personal item, just like with my carry-on suitcase, I like to lay out everything that I'm going to put in it. So to all the little bags that we already packed, I added my laptop, a book. I'm reading Beneath the Scarlet Sky right now, and I'm about 3/4 of the way through. It is so good. Then I also packed my bullet journal, an eye mask, a face mask, and some dairy pills. Then I started placing everything into the backpack, starting with my laptop, which I put in the dedicated laptop sleeve. Then I started putting everything else into the main compartment, shifting and moving things around as needed to make sure that everything ended up in the spot where it fit best and was most accessible. But then once I felt good about how all of the bigger pieces were packed, I just zipped up the side and turned my attention to the small front compartment. And in here, I just put my masks and dairy pills so I'd be able to access them easily. But then with my suitcase and backpack both fully packed, I just put them to the side in my room, ready to go. And last but not least, I got out my travel day outfit, which included a pair of leggings, a cozy sweater, some undergarments, and my cream Adidas high tops. But that's it. That's everything that I packed for my week-long trip to Nashville. And I hope that this gives you some inspiration and ideas on how you can pack smarter and pack lighter while still having all of the essentials that you may need. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe for more simple and intentional living videos coming at you twice a week. That's everything for now though, so until next time, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.